once again. Welcome to Let's Go Racing here on NBC Sports Philadelphia. Chris Griffin joined by the Hall of Famer Dick Jerardi, and we've got a jam-packed show. We're talking about the Triple Crown and many other things here on Let's Go Racing. Let's talk about that Preakness. We're going to dissect the Preakness, plus you're going to meet a father-son training team in the Vegas, right here on our backstretch here at Parx. And we're going to have some great racing action, of course, right here in beautiful Bensalem. It's all coming up here on Let's Go Racing. And hello once again, Dick Jerardi. Just talked about the Preakness. Hi ho, Pimlico indeed.
Yeah, it's funny, Chris. When I go back, people always ask me, what's my favorite Triple Crown race? And it's always the Preakness, because that's home for me. Like, I've been, I don't know, 45 of them maybe now. I've done covered a bunch of them for the Daily News, obviously, but love going back to Pimlico. And it was a little nostalgic this year, because next year, Preakness 150 is going to be the last with that present grandstand that's coming down the day after the Preakness next year.
Wow.
They'll run it at Laurel Park for a year, hopefully only a year, then they'll be back at the new Pimlico, hopefully in 2027.
Horse racing, adjusting and adapting to the way that things do play out. We are going to talk about the Preakness, and it's set up to be a nice race. Mystic Dan, he was kind of a question, but the Derby winner did come back, but we had a nice field.
We did have a nice field. Chris, not only did he come back, he was kind of 3-1, 5-2. How about this? 600,000 to win on the last hit. Made Mystic Dan the 2-1 favorite. Other horses getting bet. Tuscan Gold for Chad Brown, trying to win his third Preakness. Imagination. The other Baffert and Catching Freedom, who was fourth in the Derby. And the obligatory pair of D. Wayne Lucas horses. And not, we have to mention, the great Uncle Heavy from Parx, the PA bred for Butchery.
It promised to be a great race. Let's take a look at 149, the Preakness Stakes there at Pimlico.
As Seize the Gray down to the rail leads the way into the first turn here at Pimlico, with Imagination a bit out toward the center of the track on the chase, will now settle back and ready a bit in second spot. Mystic Dan is riding that rail under Brian Hernandez early, and on the outside is Just Steel right alongside. Catching Freedom 6 lengths on the early pace. Tuscan Gold ridden along as they round that turn and head for the 6 furlong mark. Uncle Heavy second to last, and Muga to the opening quarter, 23-4 on this muddy track. As Seize the Gray goes forward up front, showing the way is Seize the Gray. 5 furlongs out from the line, leads a length and 3/4 from Imagination in second. Just Steel, Mystic Dan still at the rail, racing in fourth in good striking range. And next is Catching Freedom, who's got 6 to make up, heading over the far turn. Tuscan Gold asks for more. Uncle Heavy and Muga 2, but it's Seize the Gray in front, still in front by 3. Mystic Dan rolling up on the inside now. On the outside is Just Steel coming too, and in between horses Imagination and Catching Freedom also looms large at the top of the stretch with a quarter to go at Pimlico, and leading the way is Seize the Gray. Seize the Gray trying to lead them all the way. Seize the Gray, and here's Mystic Dan tipping to the outside. Mystic Dan's coming with a run at the 3/16, but still in front of Seize the Gray. Seize the Gray and Jaime Torres in front. Mystic Dan, Brian Hernandez Jr. Catching Freedom on the outside with a late mid. It's Seize the Gray in front by 2, shifting out a little bit under left-handed pressure as they're close to home in the Preakness. Seize the Gray. Oh, Jaime Torres seized the day to win the 149th running of the Preakness.
Seize the Gray, seizing the day, as my man Dave Rodman, the Rod Dog, you know, as track announcers. You get nicknames once in a while, but a great call and a great race.
Yeah, look, it was really over, Chris, by the first turn. I mean, Seize the Gray took the race away from Imagination, what most people, including me, thought was going to be in front. And once he got there, they couldn't catch him. And people here at Parx will remember Jaime Torres. He was here last year at 44 wins, 24% winners before he went off to bigger things. And only jockey here that had a higher percentage last year at this track, Paco Lopez. So we already knew Jaime could ride. A little bit, when I was watching this race and I'm thinking about it, a little bit nostalgic, because this is another son of Arrogate, and this is only Arrogate's third crop. And let's think about this now. Secret Oath in his first crop, wins the Kentucky Oaks. Last year, Arcangelo wins the Belmont and the Travers. Now you got a Preakness winner, but that's it. This is his last crop. Unfortunately, the great horse died way too soon. But of course, I wrote about it on Let'sGoRacingParx.com, the story that everybody wanted to read. D. Wayne Lucas, Chris, half a lifetime ago, he won his first Preakness at 44. Now he comes back as won his 7th at 88 years old.
He's really had a lot of the horses here lately, too. He's been able to get them ready for the Triple Crown. We've always known he's had the ability, but it's nice to see him continue to do well. And he's going to miss Arrogate as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Everybody roots for D. Wayne. It was an incredibly popular win, not just with the fans, but with all the other trainers and people in the business.
All right, we'll find out more. Let's hear what some of the connections had to say about the Preakness.
One of the things that was very significant to me today, and maybe it's because I'm getting a little bit older, but as I came out of the grandstand and out across the racetrack, every one of the guys that were in that race stopped and hugged me and gave me a handshake. That meant more to me than any single thing. Baffert, Kenny, McPeak, right down the line. This is probably Bill Gates, right? Mayor should take it.
And you guys imagine when you are watching a movie and you have this horse like it's the main character in the movie, and like when you see that the last race and he wins, like you feel that emotion. But just think like it's real. Like I cannot explain it. This horse means a lot for me. It means a lot. Thank you guys for giving me the opportunity. It means a lot.
Can you just take us through the trip from the break? The horse broke well. Were you intent on getting the lead, or what was the game plan there for you?
I was gonna do whatever imagination was gonna do. I knew he was gonna go to the lead, and like I think we looked each other, and he said, "Well, you go," and I went. So I took the lead, and I mean, he's such an amazing horse. He just relaxed for me. And he felt the other horses coming close, and he was just looking at them. And, as soon as I asked, I had a lot of horse. That was like from the quarter to the wire. I mean, he gave me everything.
And now we do turn the page, of course, Dick, because there's one more jewel in the Triple Crown. When I talked about adjusting and adapting, Belmont at Saratoga.
Exactly. 2 weeks from today, Chris, the Belmont Stakes Festival, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at Saratoga. Can't wait. I know you'll be up there.
I will be up there.
Yeah,
I will
cool.
be up there.
Very nice.
I'll go hang out and talk a little bit. But talk about some of the contenders who also might be joining.
So Kenny McPeak has said, look, either the Derby winner, Mystic Dan, or the Kentucky Oaks winner, Torpedo Anna, is going to go. He hasn't made up his mind which. One of them will go for sure. The Preakness winner is in. Be nice to have a Derby Preakness winners matchup. We know Sierra Leone is going, missed by a nose in the Derby. Sounds like Fierceness is coming back. So we're going to have a really good field in the Belmont Stakes. And I'm going to give you a long shot.
Okay.
Remember Honor Marie in the Derby just got wiped out at the start?
Sure.
It's going to be any kind of a price. Will run way better than the Derby. Don't forget where you heard it. Honor Marie in the Belmont.
One quick question before we jump. The distance change.
Yes.
With it being 1.25 miles.
Yeah.
How big of an impact?
Yeah, it's an impact, right? Because we're always used to that 1.5 miles. So it's just an oddball distance, but you can't do it at Saratoga. You would have to start in a weird place. So it's basically the Travers, right? They'll start at the 8th pole. It's a wild scene. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting. Look forward to that, and look forward to all the great coverage right here on Let's Go Racing. We got to go back to Pimlico because there were other races on the card besides the Preakness, and we had some of the local connections in the house as well. The Jim McKay Turf Sprint. It rained, so a little bit more boggy conditions on that turf course, but we had Whitty, we had Smooth B, and Boats a Rockin' all trying to take down the title.
Yeah, and that's right for Michael Moore. So we had all kind of Parx connections in this race, but did they win, Chris? Let's just find out. Let's see our man. It's our man Dave Rodman again calling the Jim McKay.
So heading into the far turn run now, Boats a Rockin', and that's right. Here's Beer Can Man racing up there on the outside from third position as they round that turn. Smooth B is just in behind horses, followed by Where's Ray and Cairo Towery. Grooms All Business, and Whitty now trying to unwind. Widest of them all is Whitty, about 7 or 8 wide. They're into the stretch now for 1.5 left to run, and it is Boats a Rockin'. Whitty on the far outside, Smooth Bay pitching in between horses and Beer Can Man. Here's Beer Can Man in between horses and Whitty and Smooth B. 3 across the course, extreme outside. Grooms All Business, drop back is coming again. Grooms All Business and Whitty. Grooms All Business.
And there's Grooms All Business for Colts Neck Stables getting the job done. And we had a lot of local connections. Hey, remember, these same connections, they won that PTHA Trophy race a couple weeks ago, so now they take down the Jim McKay.
Yeah, how about that? That was impressive too, Chris, because he was on the inside, then he found a way to get to the far outside to win the race. And if you watch the time, 1:01, it was like a bog. It was like the turf monster here. A lot of rain down there. Boats a Rockin' for the Maddie family, and that's right, are in like a speed duel. I thought you guys liked each other. What is going on here? And Whitty, the PA bred, made a huge, looked like the winner, right? And then Smooth B, the old boy for Butch Reed and Glenn Bennett, he loves these soft turf courses just like he did the turf monster. He ran great.
Yeah, it was a good effort all around. We'll see where all those turf runners end up, especially those local connections. You guys are going to come right back. We're going to be right back here talking about Parx and talking about the Vegas. That's right, a father-son training duo and all that great racing action right here at Parx. When we come back on the other side, here on Let's Go Racing.
Serrani and Flamingo Way, those two duking it out. Alcala's in third.
The question a lot of people are asking themselves these days is, do I buy new or do I buy pre-owned? Here's what I'll tell you. New car inventories are still low and new car prices are still high. However, with the certified pre-owned Nissan at Chapman Nissan, we have a huge selection and you can save thousands over new. Plus a 7-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, roadside assistance, 1-year prepaid maintenance, and so much more. And not for nothing. Can you really tell the difference? I can't.
This is Parx.
This is how you roll, this is how it goes. This is how you pop, this is how you rock. Take a chance, do a dance, little romance. This is how you. This is how you win. This is how you excite, this is how you all night. 360 hit me, now we're going all in. I can feel it calling, the crowd, the light, the night, the sights, the vibe is right. This is how you. This is
Parx, Pennsylvania's #1 casino experience. This is how you win.
And welcome back to Let's Go Racing here on NBC Sports Philadelphia. We're leaving the Preakness, but there's a title. The Preakness Day Starter was right here at Parx, and it was a nice race. When you took a look at that ninth.
Yeah, it was, Chris. 2-1 on Freedom Road. He was the favorite coming up here from Tampa Bay for Ricky Sullivan. I mentioned this last week. I used to play softball in the Preakness infield with Ricky years and years ago. So I've heard Freedom Road. And when you watch this race, watch it closely. This is a classic, loose on the lead, another horse chasing, and a horse coming from out of the clouds to be second. It's the exacta that I love more than anything else. We'll talk more about it on the other side. Here is Jessica's call.
Freedom Road, who emerges with the lead. Nadeau a length behind that. Shadowbox after that sharp start. He's in third. Dadashev fourth, followed by Practical Coach fifth. Hefner up to sixth. To the outside, Angelus Warrior. Then it's Jova in between horses. Iconic Legacy. BB Bad beginning to move on the rail. And at the back, Hot Pot 22-1 for the opening quarter. Freedom Road continues to lead the way, and he has the presence of Nadeau to his outside, just a half length behind as they make their way through the far turn. Freedom Road, Nadeau. Then it's back to Dadashev. Practical Coach has moved up a spot. He's in fourth. BB Bad continuing his ascent up the rail. He's making up a lot of ground. 44-3 for the half, the top of the stretch. Freedom Road, he's led every step of the way, losing some ground. Nadeau's all out in second. BB Bad continuing to gain, but he has his work cut out for him if he's going to reel in Freedom Road, who is pulling away. Freedom Road has a 16th left to go, and he is going to win in an absolute romp. Freedom Road gets the win. BB Bad going to get up for second. Nadeau to hard fought third, and a photo for fourth.
Nadeau and Freedom Road, Chris, took all the money. Nadeau was chasing, and what happens when you chase? You've called enough races. You usually get tired. And here comes the 10, BB Bad at 28-1 to be second. If this sounds familiar, this 110 exacta was given out on this very show last week. I gave out the 1, Danny gave out the 10. You put them together, 133-20 in the exacta from Let's Go Racing.
Well, what are we doing here? Let's go spend that money. Let's go.
Why was I at Pimlico? Really?
Speaking of exactas, one of the best exactas is a father-son team in horse racing, and we've got a father-son team to talk about right now. We talk about trainers and what their day does entail, but what about becoming an assistant trainer? It's a very important supporting role in any barn, and our own Danny Gibson got a chance to hang out with Richie Vega Jr. If you're familiar with the name, he's a newly licensed assistant trainer for his dad, Hall of Famer Richard Vega. Here's Danny Gibson talking about this father-son training duo.
Our next generation hopes to keep the tradition of horse racing alive and thriving.
He's a lot of help. There's nobody I'd rather learn from. He's one of the best.
Hall of Fame trainer Richard Vega has passed on that love of horse racing to his son, Richie Vega Jr., who has recently become his licensed assistant trainer after passing the 3-part trainer's test, a big step to fill the shoes of his successful father.
It's been a good journey with him because about 4 or 5 years ago, he went with me to Saratoga, and he loved it. He was just 16 years old, you know, and he said to me that one day he wanted to be a trainer. So I say, okay, well, you know, you keep on learning, you can be one. How is this really doing? She's rolling, she's happy. She's happy? Oh, yeah.
Richie Vega Jr. is a young man finding his way in life. He found a passion in the family business in horse racing, learning from the bottom up about the dedication needed to succeed.
I thought I was actually going to go to college, but the more I worked with the horses and the more I went to the races, the more I fell in love with it. I started at the bottom. I was a hot walker for a long time, and I had to learn everything just the way a normal person would. I was in horses for a long time, so I got to see the trainer aspect of it. That really helped me with my trainer's test and the business side, but I needed to learn the skills that how to handle horses, how to take care of them, how to give them baths, how to put bandages on, how to tack up horses, how to saddle horses in the paddock. There was still a lot of stuff that I needed to learn, and still still learning.
I'm very proud of him. I am, because I'm about to, in about 3 or 4 years, I'm about to hang the hat on, and that's it. He can take over. He can start training for me and a couple of good owners I got.
Learning to be a horse trainer is a very hands-on job. In fact, the learning never stops, and being a good assistant trainer is an integral role to any successful barn. What's it like working with your dad every day?
Well, we keep our home relationship and our work relationship separate. Here I'm an employee and I have to listen to everything he says, and when I'm home, that's a different relationship.
The first thing that I told him is no days off, okay? And he has to get up every morning, 5 o'clock, same time, go to work, check the horses before they go out. It's a lot of things that he got, that he got to learn, and he's doing it. He really is, He's very, very good kid. He's very smart.
You and your dad are so close. It's just really awesome to watch him mentor you.
He's really my best friend. It can be stressful at times because we're still father and son. We argue, but at the end of the day, nobody has each other's backs like we do.
I'm Danny Gibson for Let's Go Racing.
Richie Vega is such a great character. It's cool that his son is now working with him, Chris. I've done a couple stories on Richie, and people that don't know it, he came over here years ago from Cuba on the Mariel boat lift, ended up at Fort Indian Town Gap up there at Penn National, saw the lights at the track one night, said, hey man, this is cool, whenever saw the horses, and of course he's become an absolute Parx legend here. We love Richie Vega.
So you guys definitely know each other a little bit.
Yes,
I mean, you know a
we
little
do.
bit of the history behind
Yeah,
one
one of the
another.
absolute good guys have.
Let's get back on the track here and take a look at one of our feature races right here at Parx, and that was the 9th race on Monday. Queen's Martini ended up being a heavy favorite.
Heavy favorite, coming out of some stakes races at Gulfstream. Chris was a pretty good fourth, and Devona Dale beating just 3 lengths. You're thinking, well, what is she doing here at 3 to 5? And Danny Gargan, I guess, saw a good allowance optional claiming spot. Kendrick came down to ride, and things didn't exactly work out. Here's Jess's call.
Serrani has a narrow lead. Flamingo Way to her outside. Alcala's in third. She's about 2 lengths off the leading Serrani. Then it's back to Full Moon Magic. Just great. Moving up now, Queen's Martini. She is eager to get in gear, and Betsy is the gal. Now trails 22-2 for the opening quarter. Serrani and Flamingo Way, those two duking it out. Alcala's in third and beginning to gain on the outside. Flamingo Way, she's advancing. She's in fourth, and she is picking up some steam as they make their way around the far turn. A quarter mile left to go. Flamingo Way has shaken off Serrani. Now she has to brace for the challenge of Alcala, who looms to her outside. It's on the inside. Flamingo Way, Alcala to the outside. Can't quite get by her just yet. After that big bid, Queen's Martini is petered out. Flamingo Way is game on the lead. Alcala trying to reel her in, but can't quite get to her. Flamingo Way and Andy Hernandez, 16th left to go. And Flamingo Way, a game front-running victorious here today.
And there you see jockey Andy Hernandez, and a nice horse there for trainer Bobby Ann Hawthorne, who had a really nice season last year, and she's got a nice runner here in Flamingo Way.
Yeah, went pretty impressively by 4.5. And Queen's Martini, I really kind of was eliminated at the start, but I'm sure they thought better when Kendrick got her outside. She just didn't pop.
Let's see another horse that does like to really fire over this park surface, and taking a look at another race. This was Wednesday's feature race. It was the 9th race as well.
Yeah, Speightster Red 6 to 5, coming off 2 dominating wins. I mean, win by 6, win by 3. Obviously a heavy favorite for our man Lupe Guerrera.
Let's see if the money was right this time. Take a look. Jessica Paquette once again on the call.
More Than a Feeling counters those two in tandem. Then settling in, Colville in the white blinkers. He's third. Speightster Red, he's fourth, followed by Victim of the Night. Then back to New Commission and way at the back, Modern Era. He can see them all. More Than a Feeling has now wrestled the lead from Thirsty Pappy. He has a half-length advantage. Thirsty Pappy comes up a little bit closer. They're now noses apart. Tracking in third under a pretty tight hold. Colville, Speightster Red. Then back in fifth, Victim of the Night. He's just about 4 lengths off the leader. To the outside, New Commission and Modern Era still way at the back. 23-3 for the opening quarter. They head down the backstretch. More Than a Feeling to the outside, flanked by Thirsty Pappy. Those two have been slugging it out the entire way. Colville continues to track in third. Victim of the Night, New Commission moving up a spot. Speightster Red got shuffled back there. And now on the lead, it is still More Than a Feeling and Thirsty Pappy, 47-2 for the half. They head around the far turn, and Thirsty Pappy trying to get by. More Than a Feeling digging in, neither giving an inch. Colville continues in third. Then it's back to New Commission, followed by Victim of the Night, Speightster Red, and still Modern Era way at the back. Thirsty Pappy sticks his nose in front, More Than a Feeling trying to counter. Those two duking it out as they hit the top of the stretch together, and Thirsty Pappy now has a narrow advantage, running gamely down the center of the track. Colville in on the rail, More Than a Feeling. Thirsty Pappy, a hard-fought lead. Colville dives in between horses to take another swing at him. Thirsty Pappy, Colville up to confront him. In on the rail, More Than a Feeling. It is Colville, Thirsty Pappy, those two slugging it out. Colville with a narrow advantage. Thirsty Pappy counters, and those two hit the wire together.
And there's Thirsty Pappy getting the win there for Sylvester Gonzalez being aboard. And it was a nice race, nice stretch run. They really duked it out down the lane, but Thirsty Pappy just had a little more.
Yeah, he did. It was interesting. Spicer Red was the favorite, deservedly so, Chris. This is a horse, wow, after 47 starts, got a career top buyer, and then did it again. And people are thinking, well, maybe this is the new thing. I think on the rail was not the place. Looks like this horse wants to run outside horses. So I would bet Spicer Red back the next time. Get him outside. Give him some look.
That's why you got to watch every week. You got to keep those handicapping tools sharp, if you will. Hey, we're coming right back here right after this break. More Let's Go Racing. We're going to talk about Jockey of the Week, Trainer of the Week, and so much more.
When you open the Parx app, you're in the zone. Winning is always a rush, but the money is in the moments. It's the anticipation of another face card, the thrill of an extra spin, and the pure joy of a jackpot. It's all your favorite games at your fingertips. Plus, get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. You play for fun, you love to win. You bet. Bet Parx.
And welcome back to Let's Go Racing. We are rocking and rolling, and it's Jockey of the Week time. Let's find out who our Jockey of the Week was, presented by NovaCare.
Sylvester Gonzalez, our Jockey of the Week, with 6 wins here at Parx Racing and some thrilling finishes. Congratulations to Sylvester, our Jockey of the Week, sponsored by NovaCare, the power of physical therapy.
Well, if you got a Jockey of the Week, you got to have a Trainer of the Week. And let's find out who our Trainer of the Week was from our friends tunneltotowers.org.
The PTHA proudly partners with Tunnel to Towers Foundation on our Trainer of the Week. Congratulations to Michael Catalano, our Trainer of the Week, with 2 wins, a great week for their small barn. Congratulations.
And turning for home, a family photo of the week and taking a look at Brandywine Babe, her adopter Ashlyn. They now live in New Mexico. You ever been to New Mexico?
I have.
Yeah, it's a nice spot. One of the main horses, they take on trail rides and they have a lot of fun with Brandywine Babe. And they've gotten into polo cross. I've never heard of that, but it's a new sport. They play it. It's lacrosse on horseback. Sounds very difficult. Thank you to Ashlyn and turning for home as well. Best of the rest time. We got to talk about the Jersey Shore a little bit.
Yeah, Monmouth Park, Chris, the Spruce Fir Handicap. We're interested in Girl Trouble for Butch Reed the 7. She ran okay, but that was a heavy favorite. Mia's Crusade, even money. Going to get up right at the end by a neck. Girl Trouble for Butch, Wilkins Stable, and LC's going to have to settle for 4th, but better days ahead for her.
And taking a look at another race over there at Monmouth Park, it was the John Riley Handicap. And Lemon Creek Louie does like that Monmouth surface.
Does like that Monmouth surface for sure. Speaking, the big favorite at 3 to 5 is going to win. Loves this racetrack now. I think 10 now, 7 wins at Monmouth Park. We're also interested in Parx horses here. Didn't run so well, but Michael Moore will do better next time. He had running right by you in here, the 2 horses.
Closing like we're closing from the clouds right now. It's PTHA Trophy race time as well. And taking a look at that 3rd race on Tuesday, and this one came from the clouds.
Yeah, and this one came from the clouds and was appropriately named Sheer Dominance for Lou Linder. Talk about dominance, as you say, comes from last, and is going to win this thing at the end by 8.5 legs, Chris, coming from the back. Just crushed these maiden claimers for Lou Linder.
Yeah, they were duking it out on the lead. Danny Gibson with more with Lou Linder Jr.
I heard you saying, come on, big boy, but sheer dominance. He broke last, but he made it exciting.
Yeah, and all that pace really helped. He comes some way out of it. He needs a trip, and he got it today.
That was Louis Acasio's first win as a dad. How cool is that?
Real cool. It's been my first one in a long time, so I'm happy too.
Congratulations once again to trainer Lou Linder Jr. Sheer dominance getting the job done, and thank you to Danny Gibson as well. It's break time one more time, and you guys were talking about all that money you made, all the fans out there. So we're going to come back and we're going to have some Parx picks. Craig Dolly's going to join us too. So much more on Let's Go Racing.
This is Parx.
This is how you roll, this is how it goes. This is how you pop, this is how you rock. Take a chance, do a dance, little romance. This is how you. This is how you excite, this is how you all night. 360 hit me, now we're going all in. I can feel it calling, the crowd, the light, the night, the sights, the vibe is right. This is how you. This is
Parx, Pennsylvania's #1 casino experience. This is how you win.
And this is a Memorial Day weekend, so we've got some great racing action right here at Parx. We're going to race on Monday, so we got to get some good selections, don't we?
Yeah, I like race 8 on Monday, Chris. We're going a mile and 70, allowance optional claimer. Nice purse, $52,000. A lot of recognizable names in here that have combined. You ready for this? 71 wins in their career. When I look at races, the first thing I look at is there a lot of speed, no speed? How's this race going to be run? I don't see much speed in here, so I'm looking for a horse I think could either make the lead or be right on the pace. Legal Deal for me, for Jamie Ness, I think has the right style for this race. So Legal Deal, Monday's 8th race.
All right, there you go. That's Monday's 8th race. Let's find out who Craig Donnelly likes. He likes a race on Monday, and I think you got to get here bright and early first thing here. Craig, who do you like in Monday's first?
Normally, when we're making a best bet selection, we like to pick a horse at the classier levels. We're going to make an exception to that rule in Monday's first race, picking number 6, Alma Brilha, in a maiden claimer. This filly was absolutely rushing by the field in her last start on the turn, got stopped cold 2 or 3 times, still managed to finish second. She will be far back early, returning to a sprint, but there's plenty of early speed in the race, and I think she'll make a strong late run at a square price.
And thank you so much to our man Craig Donnelly, the Hall of Famer. He likes somebody in the first, and if you get here for the first, there is a giveaway on Monday too from Parx. It's a picnic blanket while supplies last, so come on out for that. Earlier in the day on Preakness Morning, there was a great new event that was brought to us right here at Parx, and it was breakfast at the track.
Yeah, I made it out there, Chris. It was fun. I mean, look, a good idea. Jeff Matty was out there, Bob Hutt was out there, Danny Gibson, a lot of the trainers and the jockeys, and a bunch of fans came out. I think it's a really good idea, and this will be the first, hopefully, to do it again sooner rather than later. I thought it was very cool.
I also heard the breakfast was phenomenal. It was from 8 to 10. It was a nice breakfast, so it's nice to have people on that apron and check things out.
Yeah, the breakfast was right there in the cotillion room. It was quite nice.
Wow, very nice job there. Breakfast at the track. Looking forward to the next ones as we go out throughout the rest of the year. Great day had by all, and Memorial Day, it's a great day to remember all the great servicemen and women. We thank them for everything they do.
No question. Remember what this is about. It's not just a holiday.
Yep, we hope you can join us on that holiday racing on Monday. We'll see you guys next time on Let's Go Racing. Dick, you're out of here?
I am.
I have one more show to do. I'm headed over
What's going on
to
here?
On the Rail. It's coming up next here on NBC Sports Philadelphia. We'll see you next week.
And they're off. Skippy Longstocking has early speed. We the people from in between horses. Taba's got the lead now. It's Taba in the center of the racetrack, but Taba is drawing away, and Taba with Mike Smith, they win the Bet Parx Pennsylvania Derby.